Welcome to the Community Spotlight Podcast. My guest today is Bob Britton, Superintendent of the Bucyrus City Schools. That's my alma mater, by the way.
Well, good morning, Dave. Thanks for having me on here. And yes, I know it's your alma mater. It's a great place to be, too. I'll tell you that. We got some good things going on right now.
Yes. Now, you, formerly now, I believe you've been actually the formal superintendent the full time. Weren't you partial superintendent for a while? I mean, temporary.
Yeah, last summer I was hired as the interim superintendent.
Yeah, interim. I
and
couldn't
then,
think of the word.
Last October, a year from this week, I believe, I was offered a 3-year contract. So I started the first year of a 3-year contract this year. So I've been the full-time superintendent now for just almost exactly 1 year.
Am I correct? You came over from Ridgedale, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right. And then prior, kind of maybe for people, this is the first time they've seen this podcast with you on here. Can you give just a little brief, I can't even say the word, brief kind of synopsis of kind of where you've been at education?
Sure. I was actually graduated from Colonel Crawford in 1982, went to Ohio Northern for my undergraduate degree. I taught 5 years in St. Mary's, Ohio, 5 years at 5 years at Colonel Crawford, then went 1 year to Mansfield, Madison. Then I was a teacher and a high school principal for 10 years at Marion Elgin, and then I was superintendent for 14 years at Ridgedale, and this is my second year at Bucyrus City.
Wow.
Yeah, so 37 years in education.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of change over that time.
Yes, I was going to say, yes, you have. I know what you mean. Some good, some maybe not so good.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, the change is coming.
It's the one thing that's constant in education is change.
Yes, absolutely. I know today one of the things I want to talk, first of all, one other thing, just kind of thing, how large is the district? What's the enrollment at Bucyrus anymore?
Right now we have K through 12, about 1,034 students.
Okay.
We lose some students to open enrollment to the county schools, Winford and Colonel Crawford. We'd like to see those kids come back to the city.
Right.
We're doing some things, working to get working on our what I want to say, our reputation a little bit.
Yes.
Trying working on the culture a little bit, trying to make this a place that the folks that live in Bucyrus City want to go to school here instead of going to the county schools.
Right. And you're bringing up something here that I always say, comparing school districts is like that's tough because Bucyrus City Schools have many different things, is much different than some of our rural school districts as far as people, the composition of the students that you're dealing with, the families that you're dealing with. I guess what I could say is sometimes we have people that maybe they don't have the finances and things maybe in the Bucyrus City Schools. Am I correct, or how can I say that in a way?
We have a larger demographic of economically disadvantaged.
That's the word I was looking for.
Individuals, and it's nothing bad. It's just
the way it is.
It's just the makeup. Yeah. Yep, sure is. So, and if you look back to history of Bucyrus City Schools, you had a lot of manufacturing in town. You had a lot of business in town.
Absolutely.
You had a lot of places for people to work, and it was a pretty hopping community.
Sure.
And then the manufacturing jobs have left, and unfortunately for this area, a lot of kids when they graduate from here, don't come back to the area. They go to where the jobs are. Right. And if you look now at the eastern side of Columbus and Franklin County and getting over into Fairfield County with the big Intel processing plant coming in, those school districts are just going to explode. Yeah. I know Big Walnut and New Albany are already looking at possibilities of building another high school, and I think Olentangy is looking at building a 5th high school. Wow. So, I mean, it's just exploding down in that area of the state, and that growth eventually is going to come here, but it's going to be a few years down the road.
Yes. Yeah, I think sometimes people think, well, that's there, and nothing will come here. That's not correct. You get a spillover effect from a lot of different things.
Yes, if you go up 71 and 61 where those two intersect in Marengo, Sparta Highland, that school district is really growing. Big Walnut and Sunbury is really growing. That growth's coming up 71 right now, and you're seeing a lot of people who are living up there and finding it's easier to drive almost from there into Columbus as it is from one of the suburbs right now.
Yeah, it gets somewhat congested around
absolutely.
That outer belt, and fighting the outer belt every day. I take it the end of the first grading period or 9 weeks. You're on 9 weeks, right?
Yes, that's correct. The end of the first grading period is this week.
Okay.
We have our last school day of the week is Thursday. Friday's a teacher work day to work on grades and beginning of the semester or beginning of the second 9 weeks. And then Monday we will have a professional development day for our teachers. So our students will be off this coming Friday and next Monday.
Okay. Now this
for teacher professional
by
development.
time this actually airs, this will be 2-week-old news. But I'm just letting you know. But
Sure.
we are already at the end of the first 9 weeks.
Yes.
And so
Yeah, second 9 weeks will be. We're looking forward to that end of the first semester. Will be mid-January.
Okay.
And in upcoming here, we're going to have several events going on within the district that will probably be community interest. We'll have our
why don't you
some Christmas programs at the elementary school. We'll have our Christmas programs at the junior high and the high school. The music programs. We just finished up our fall sports seasons. Our winter sports seasons will be well underway. Before you know it, we'll be in 2024.
yes, that's a scary thought, isn't it?
It's just amazing how fast it goes.
Now, for a lot of this information, you can go on the bucyrusschools.org website, correct?
That's correct,
I mean, it gives
yes.
you updates there. How about you folks in social media? Do people kind of follow that on there as well?
Well,
I'm
it's
not too up on that.
Interesting you bring that up. Right now, we are in the process of moving from some of our communication tools with our parents, Class Dojo and Remind 101, and we're going to go to what we call Thrill Share in rooms right on our website. So all communication will be run right through our website. BucyrusCitySchools.org or BucyrusSchools.org. We'll be able to push information out over all platforms of social media. We'll be able to do all calls through that system. We'll have all our classes broken down by students. Those students can communicate, or those parents can communicate with their teachers, and in one-stop shop. So they won't be getting 3 or 4 different notifications. If you have a child in middle school, high school, and elementary school, you'll be getting notifications just from one area.
Streamlined. It'll be streamlined.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be nice for our teachers because it's one stop for them. It'll be nice. It'll be really great for our parents. It'll be a great communication tool that we have that we're putting into place, and that'll be coming into effect in January.
And simplicity is the greatest thing that there is.
Absolutely.
Because if you can make it where you can go one place to find out this information, it sure beats going 3 or 4.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it'll encompass all of our extracurricular activities as well. So instead of having the band app, we'll have all of our athletics and extracurriculars on our rooms portal as well through the website.
All right, student or the district report card.
Yes.
I'm sure this has come up now, normally in October. Aren't those when those normally come out?
Yeah, they came out right at the beginning of October.
Okay. How are we standing with that now with the Bucyrus City Schools?
Actually, we improved our report card measures it's now on stars. It used to be effective, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And now they're stars. You have the possibility of getting 5 stars. Well, we've increased our star rating from 2.5 to 3 stars.
Okay.
And we have improved our test scores in 15 of the 20 areas that we tested in.
Wow.
So we're on the right path. We're moving in the right direction. We've got a great administrative staff who are leading our teachers. We've got a great teaching staff who are buying into some of the changes that we're making, and we're starting to see improvements in student achievement from these changes that we've made. So we have things moving in the right direction, and I think you're going to see some continued improvement over the course of the next 2-3 years.
A lot of this stuff is you get the momentum behind it.
Yes.
And as you all know, perception sometimes it doesn't always follow reality.
Correct.
That's why we have programs like this, because we like to have our superintendents on to talk about the district and what's going on, because people sometimes they hear things, but they're not always, I'll just be kind and say it's not always accurate what you're hearing. And we're trying to present here, give our superintendents and the school districts a chance to bring forth things that maybe they have been told some information about that may not be correct. So,
Right. One of the things that we did that I was excited about was last year we changed our English language arts programming in the elementary school. Prior to the governor coming out and saying we had to do the science of reading, we had changed over to the science of reading at the beginning of last year, so we were a year ahead of a lot of school districts in that process. We had all our training put in place last year, and you can walk into our school buildings at any point in time in the elementary school and see our teachers teaching same lessons in 4 different classrooms So it's consistent across the board instead of having, one teacher saying, well, this works and this doesn't work, and another teacher saying doing something different. So you're getting possibly four different approaches to teaching your language arts, as opposed to everybody teaching the same standard at the same time on the same day. It's really quite impressive what our teachers are doing right now. I'm really proud of our teaching staff.
That sounds like a real, what I call, team effort.
Yes.
And you're going to accomplish a lot as a team. And again, if you can get all the players on the team to play the game like it should be, with like on a team,
Oh, absolutely. And you're seeing that same thing happen in our high school and our middle school. We came in and we had our teachers sit down with our administrative staff and come up with non-negotiables in the classroom. This is what we're going to do in our classrooms. We just need the administration to back what we've decided as far as our rules and regulations. And the rules and regulations in one classroom are going to be the same in the next classroom, and the same in the next classroom, the same in the next classroom.
It's called consistency.
Yes, absolutely. And I tell you, we've seen a decrease, a huge, tremendous decrease in our student discipline referrals to the office. We've seen a decrease in our discipline referrals as far as suspensions are concerned, and expulsions. So like I said, we've got a lot of really good things going on right now in the Bucyrus City Schools.
Well, I like there is how I say that it's like anything, people look for weaknesses. And so if you are providing a hole for the weakness, you have to have a united front. And if everybody stays on that page and executes it, and like you said, then people have to accept it, because that's the way it is.
Absolutely.
It's got to become a solid wall, not a little hole here. And if I can find a way to go squeeze through it, because there are people that are always looking for the exception to the rule.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you, it's an exciting time in the Bucyrus City Schools. And I think you've got, like you said, the momentum is behind you. These things don't change overnight. We didn't get into these things overnight, and we won't get out of them overnight.
Exactly.
We're just being honest.
It's like they say, you got to crawl before you walk and walk before you run.
Right.
And right now we're in that crawling toddler stage, getting to the point where we're starting to walk a little bit here. So we're moving, and we're going to continue to put the pedal to the metal and see where we go from here. Well,
Bob, I tell you, any final thoughts you would like to make this today on the podcast?
Well, not really, other than the fact that I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be a part of the Bucyrus community again. Proud to be a part of the Bucyrus City School District, and we're going to make some things happen. Thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it.
And I will point this out. Now they'll say I'm biased, but go Redmond.
Go Redmond. You got it.
Because I'm a graduate of Bucyrus. Thanks again to Superintendent Bob Britton, Bucyrus City School District. Thank you so much for being on the program. You're welcome back at any time. And as we know, we have all of our superintendents scheduled on here because education is very important to this community. It's important to our station. It's important to our county. It's important to the future. Education is your future, and your future is now.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.